There used to be this guy who lived across the road from me. He was one of those guys that was so easy to dislike. It's not that he'd said something to me that set me off. It's just in the way he lived his life, it was almost as if he just didn't care what other people thought. And that bothered me, because I lived on that street. I didn't like the way he lived. So I labeled him. I defined him. I thought I knew him so well. I made these assumptions in my mind and I'd play him over as I'd see him, thinking I knew exactly what went on inside those walls of his home. One day I was walking my dog. I was about a block away from my house. And he was standing between where I was and where I needed to go. I remember as I approached him, I felt this voice inside tell me there was something I needed to tell him. I knew it was God speaking to me. The message he wanted me to give him was simply, "Hello, my name is Aaron. I live across the street." It was so simple, it was profound. I remember walking up to him, reaching out my hand to shake his hand, and he introduced himself as John and told me a little bit about his family and apologized for the mess of his yard. And as he began to talk to me, I remember thinking to myself, this guy is so much harder to dislike now that he has a name. Now that he's a somebody, he's a father, he's a husband, he's someone's son, he's a child of God. See, labels do nothing more than define a static moment in someone's life. And they give no room for the dynamic possibility of redemption, and hope, and change. Mike Mason, in one of his books, writes that to be in the presence of even the meanest, lowest, most repulsive specimen of humanity is still to be closer to God than when looking up into a starry sky or at a beautiful sunset. For we cannot really love a sunset. We can only love a person. God is love, and in coming to Him, we cannot escape coming through people. The way we feel about people is the way that we feel about God. And the way we treat people is the way we treat God. How do we get to a place in our life where we think it's okay to look at people in these generalizations, to marginalize them by the way they live, how much money they have, the music they listen to, their sexuality, their religion, their skin color? I wonder if it's because we've got this misguided notion that somehow we can do that with God. That somehow we've defined God, we understand God, that we are able somehow to confine Him, we've shaped Him in our own image. And God, after all, likes what we like and dislikes who we dislike. I wonder if this notion comes from the idea that after all, isn't it about inviting the God of the universe to come and squeeze Himself into my heart, into my life, so He can come and live with me and see what I see and see the world within which I live. I remember being in high school, walking the halls of my school with this idea that I was to invite God into my school and come with me, like He wasn't there already. Like somehow it was my idea and it was my invitation to God to come and live and come and see what I see. I have no question that there's an invitation, but I wonder somehow if maybe we got it wrong. What if the invitation wasn't for us to invite the God of the universe to come and live inside our hearts, but instead the invitation was that the God of the universe has invited us to come and live in His heart, to come and see what He sees, to hear what He hears, to come and live in Him. And in doing so, we would see the world differently. We see people as humans, created in the image of God, looking for hope, purpose, and reason. How would that change us? Would that make a difference? What if God asks us to love others, not just because they need to know that they're loved, but because we need to give love? It's somehow in us giving of ourselves without guarantee that they would ever love us back. Somehow in us looking past labels and stereotypes and definitions, us giving of ourselves to care and to love other people, it changes us. It softens us. It molds us. What if in that moment of us giving of ourselves, that is the time we most resemble God Himself?